Yáay yuxsatini jaltakat Johan. Yes quaha qonach. Takde yaqanahin qua. Xusatin achlil kohas ani. Kautakino iduasago at Tlaytakus tan yuk. Yak qua shashaki. Yes tlayt qudzati. Hilwasa utiqoa. Yáay we Yáay hit Tlákw.aan qanachtidi ai adayu qagachtulla adisadu tuasagu yuqiwatani qa
Kaya kat íchx Chish Ganas Chish at Yádi Yake Xusteeyí Yáyagi Tl'úk'x Outdagan Yéil Tl'úk'x Yáyagi Kakwanik Emmons away Ade Koowutlaax Tlákw.aan da Tlákw.aan day hit Aussatin away Ganach Tedi Hidi away where Yáay hit Ağ-óow Yáay Saka Kaishich hit Dushadki Kachat Sewach Wasadosak Tlākw Weka
Koowutlaax yechwati
Koowutlaax Dushadki Hasbuda Seich Tlákw.aan da Ajawe L.Shadax Shugu map Are Ghanayu Huja Johan Chish
okay ayag yukhatan ayag yukhatan
Tl'úk'x Gunashtish da at Litsin Tl'úk'x awaka At.óow Qatatani Nask Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x Kawshit Akawhit Duhin Sha Day Leka Yukatangi map Cook Cook Ushuk Kwasaku Cook Kwasaku Day Yandu Yadu Tlákw Achawe Tlákw Tleka Talk Yanagut Fort Selkirk Achawe Tl'úk'x Ya Ausene Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x Kuchu Hundakahiti Hudson Bay Port Selkirk Hooch Hut awilik elik. Kusht hundakahiri. Du tutan tan tutan there. Dana hundakahiri Tl'úk'x chilkat daknek. Tlewasaku Lewis Shortridge Tlingit Sai Akawashit Ka Yáay. The photographs Shutuku. Yukatangi, Lake Ka Yukatangi. Kadane, Tlingit Yukatangi. Captions. Ask. Yagi. Yanakut. De Heen. Tl'úk'x Te Ka Liw. Tl'úk'x At.óow unique. Hun Kai hit. Ḳusteeyí Ḳusteeyí lidzi ka At.óow unique ka Johnson. I am totally without words about the sale. Gunashtish.
Okay,
Gunashtish we Yáay hit Shkarfnik ka we nik tsu. Yak yuxsetini yachana ada yutuchatank ade Wuduwahoon hastu At.óow. Ka tuwa sugu Tl'úk'x kwa ka dana itinach kayati. Wash tlel ka íchx has Tl'úk'x has awuhin hastu At.óow Akachyan awu. Tl'úk'x awu deishli. Wash. Dai tuchatank wash. Chishugu at ha askutu dat. To Dana itinach hayati. Achowe at chen askutu chenk Wuduwatáw. Shadhain askutu Wuduwatáw. Shadhain Tlákw. Ka atlen Koowutlaax Wuduwatáw. Ka uchan su Silaska nach Wuduwatáw. Wanach soe chushugu askutu ka At.óow idat atlen askutu Yesu kudziti chankwa Wuduwatáw. Ka su Yáay dat atlen shinget At.óow ahua nesu a kasu atlen shinget At.óow nesu. Kati we I hit At.óow Ḳusteeyí. Shura hatati Ḳusteeyí shinget At.óow Tl'úk'x shinget antach kwa ach. Tuasigu shinget At.óow shinget ani Koowutlaax Tl'úk'x shinget ani Koowutlaax. Tl'úk'x shinget At.óow awajesh chas dana ka ayach tundatani itinach kayati unashtish ut.
Okay.
Tl'úk'x hatsu Tl'úk'x monach soe we hastu At.óow hastu tuasigu as Wuduwahoon Tl'úk'x Chadas at Tlákw.aan Yáay adach kua Yádi she tsu dot Gáasʼ hastu tuasigu has Wuduwahoon we At.óow. Gwals dana awe gwals hastu tuasigu hastu At.óow has snech. Achwe we Bill Thomas Yáay we hit Wuduwatáw awe we hawage has Koowutlaax we wals we hit ye sakkwahich we gantu Tl'úk'x aki Wuduwatáw. Achwe Tl'úk'x das atune dasa atwne awanaksawe atwne yak. Just At.óow sigutsu we At.óow Tlákw.aan Chayesu Yéhas Yeti Adak yeah yeah de awe
Cheese. Goed gekloed. Zo kijken.
Oh,
Sneak. Okay. Kiwe. Kakasatin. We kan Tl'úk'x. That's cheese. So chalk away. Tl'úk'x. Achunchi, George. Awagak. Du hunchi. At.óow. This Yáay. We gan to Tl'úk'x. We Yéil. Away. Jinkat Yáay. L.Shadax. Hutsu. Yudu away. Yudu hut. We doin. Tl'úk'x. Tat yin. Like tat yin. Giwe tat sitgausani. We gan to Tl'úk'x hat uagut.
Oh.
Ha awagak. At.óow. Yáay day. Wuduwatáw. At.óow. Wuduwatáw.
The Katie, a teeny Katie, Ḳusteeyí.
Gáasʼ. Except the part about me.
Gáasʼ cheese.
yes, yes.
Yáay he wasiko. Gooch he Ḥadax Tl'úk'x dach. Tl'úk'x da kushuga At.óow wanaksawe nach has awallun. Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x ka huna kawu. Achtakunuku wana aga Dr. Akunuku Wuduwatáw. Lladahian Kechne Ḥuaus. Gusuwe At.óow. Tl'úk'x. Kechne Shalnik. Dr. At.óow Wuduwatáw. Achtakunuku hididach. At.óow wasiko. Goodness cheers. Isa akhi.
Jeez. Anya nachtla.
Goodness cheers. So Yáay hit adat Ḥusteeyí ka Tl'úk'x At.óow adat. Which Káasʼ Tl'úk'x has unga huniye ha At.óow ha nakahidi Tl'úk'x has unga huniye shakte Gáasʼ awe Yáay Gáasʼ awe gwell suhas akwahen Yáay hit Gáasʼ ka nilka kuge yi Johansa yi At.óow awe su kaki wahen yengati yengati
Goodness cheers.
Jeez. Took again.
Like, Yádi. Like, Yági yi Tl'úk'x at Yáay. Tatge Seattle dach Pin tatge ka Yági yi hill jichane At.óow hill gau achjid.
Qayati. Gwell ach llwyd Tl'úk'x. Oh, you're gay. Let's get it.
Ade chat nai u gogank chat or ach toyanig. So Shuhwanach or Shuhwana Killa at Yáay Ḥusteeyí adat Tl'úk'x lle Killa awe kit Tlákw.aan with kinde or dekidach lle nas tena Tl'úk'x Wuduwatáw Tl'úk'x Wuduwatáw naskia tena dekhi Tlákw.aan killa at Yáay shachid Xusteeyí. Tl'úk'x kwasa ku datka saya kamdlesilk sachid Yéil an kamdlesilk dasa amlliech Tl'úk'x yisakuge an yachyati amlliech Tl'úk'x kwasa ku.
Koowutlaax. Hast du Jawoge?
Tl'úk'x
Ah.
Kid hit kuhu Tl'úk'x killa ka
Ayage ejiwu.
ad Yáay
Awakshi ke nasne.
Khataya Khat ad Yáay kid hit kuhu.com Tl'úk'x killa so ka on ka tai on ka tai sachid or Tl'úk'x sachid ka Tl'úk'x da dech nask Tl'úk'x kinda tunedi yeah so but Tl'úk'x dech nask tena so Tl'úk'x kwasa kumanach saya
Dawk kit hitsa guksaye wutin. Tlákw.aan.
Tlákw.aan
Kit hit Xusteeyí kak. Shit de hini gwall adagach gach tu wujin. Yiwakshi ke kwasane shukwa.
At Blekachinach Duhastu wait
Yádi gwall yisaku gwik at Yáay. At Yáay awa hasakaw shihit. Hasusai awa akaye yati. Yag akatchetsewak aktlingitsai. Andrew Hope du inye jechonean Koowutlaax qanins. Qaqanachawe adaye hasjiwane. Walhisatin. Eltakat hasusak tlechasaka. Shadag Khosaku. Shkundi. Gachtlein. Wuchch kataha golhiwe. Kechne. Ada awe ye hasjiwane. Golhisatin Yádi. Jilqa hasuani. Daqnach sasati Xusteeyí qanach tidi. Tl'úk'x adi. Nachunedi. Nushaka aye. Nushaka aye Tl'úk'x adi Xusteeyí. We Koowutlaax sati Koowutáw. Daqistana qadaqlawedi. Dech Koowutáw Xusteeyí. Tl'úk'x jilqalquan. Tl'úk'x shit kadach away Gáasʼ and away one qanins. Wasa hastusak. Yen washa you hastusak. Daqistana hasausaku shangu kedi Xusteeyí. Ya hastu hit kitsu shangu kedi. Ya Tl'úk'x Yáay hit awa. Shit the hini wutusaku Yádach. Ya Ducklawidi, Cheat hit, Claysu hit, Keat Gushi hit, Keat Kwani hit, Keat Tl'úk'x hit, Keat Dekhi hit. Hilchis Koowutlaax Wuduwahoon, we Keat, Káag'wan Lisa Tinsu, Tl'úk'x hit, Gushay a Yáay yeti, a Drin Tl'úk'x hit, Tlákw.aan we íchx. Dáchas ausa in Ḥusteeyí, we Koowutlaax At.óow, a Yáay yeti a Keat. Gwell a Tl'úk'x has awas Ḥusteeyí, a de awe Wuduwatáw, Wuduwatáw ya ha na Ǩusteeyí a do a saga at. Eka achtuasaku atlein ku'u has awas ku ya ha hitki, ha naka hitki, ha At.óow hashkalniki, wasa wusha kauta ha yetsu. Ya dua, ya ha chunkian kunach, ak hit, Tl'úk'x ak owe Wuduwahoon. Yáay hit, ak hit, Ḥusteeyí hit, íchx hit, íchx hit. Íchx hit a Yáay wutien gutis Gáasʼ. A yidach has Gáasʼ and Tl'úk'x kunach Tl'úk'x. Awe yechwaji, as di tawaw saguan, Koowutlaax de has Gáasʼ and Tl'úk'x dach kanakide. Has ausatin we a da Yáay has Koowutlaax. Awe we shkalnik Ḥusteeyí. Yáay kakwashi lete. Kalwita. Ya kwalkiwi. Eka tourist ai Wuduwatáw. Ya do ya da ko Ḥusteeyí yidu a sako at. Tl'úk'x hana kawa ni kwishkalni kadat. Tl'úk'x. Ye awa Tl'úk'x ko atuye wutien. Ye awa qayan. Andat kani hiki. Hechwasaku anachsawi. Kwalqeqa ko Ḥusteeyí qani. Tl'úk'x ayu we ku'u. Has wutien. Kwal ishka hit dach ku'u. Ishka hit yidach. We hit. Tl'úk'x hit tu. Tl'úk'x hit yik. Hit yi. Hit yidach. Awe. We yach awe. Ye has ku'u. Tl'úk'x awe we yizqa. Du llilq. Kunach awe auklatin. Du wuddashi. Ya we ku'u dachas kakwaat. Hechwasaku anachsawi kwal atcha. Atchasak awe aqahas kakwauten. Awe ye awa has shakawa jawa yizqa. Ya llilq. Tl'úk'x ikutrik. Just the khank ayayeti. Ya awa hatuati. Tl'úk'x hatuashku. Nasre awe du idachikuti. Koa. Kwashi sakuan kanins yu at kujik nuch we adatki. Du llilq. Kunachawe du tuasaku akawa kai. Atlein kawut du jiye wutien. Kisha ta awe. Kunachawe wasa. Atade nasre. We shawa hek awe we kawut tin. Ye awe akawa ka. Kawut. was Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x Wuduwatáw Yáay the two Yádi At.óow the Tl'úk'x Yáay Saka is it in Gáasʼ At.óow Ash kan Káasʼ Aqawe At.óow Tl'úk'x aus cool to cut by Koowutlaax to us a good different tea. John Cry or Cockwashi. His was up what teach hunk. The red said Z cut the Chantlatini. Just the cut that cut to us a go has to jich to tea. Ye our ashkouter yet you. Koch has with the art. Has aus a teen now say our at the hugu. Andeen ye aus a kawanach so we click naki goody. His was a oti, his was a oti. It's a hit ye Wootien, which it's a hit that they has for art. Where you Tl'úk'x hours teen. Whoosh, a couch a wash aya. Our set with it's a hit. Dasa away our shot has to please. Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x Wooti. Conachaway the toot, who he. Tl'úk'x has our teen koa. Claim was Xusteeyí. Gáasʼ was has our hood. Was has our shot. Tl'úk'x our shot koa. We shawat shot. Ya our hood. Has our teen. Good days has for art. Yáda awe. A de has for art. Claim Tl'úk'x. Claim Tl'úk'x. Gone awe shoot has out the cutway. Tl'úk'x At.óow Wootien. Claim Godneta ya At.óow was Ḳusteeyí íchx. Aqawe is it teen way Yáay which Tl'úk'x na Tl'úk'x and that can hiki Xusteeyí. Jadaqasa At.óow Wuduwatáw. Was At.óow Ḳusteeyí Wuduwatáw At.óow has Gáasʼ Deslin ade. Ishka hit yidach. At.óow ishka hit tan you has to a sock. Ako ishki tan. Ya koketan ko jakudi dachaya has Gáasʼ. Qanach adich has Łusteeyí. Was ishki tan qanach tidich has Łusteeyí. Ya qeqa has to awil the cut at. Tl'úk'x qant has to Wuduwatáw yes. Yáay achten de tani Yáay ko yedet. Is chayego gengi awatu saku adat. Ya hanaka hitki ha At.óow. Ashkashniki kahayuk atangi. Ajri Yáay yachwachi hilwasaqwati lingit khinachaya. Jaltakata the dat yuqagachti Tl'úk'x nik qa. Jaltakat at. Kalles ikwa At.óow. Tl'úk'x yitu niku. Was At.óow yuqagachti Yáay Khwatu awe adat. Ya achliilko. Qeqa achliilko awe hu. Gusudu Yáay. Wait Shadach Shtu qa. Hu awe our sha. Tla du Tlákw. Tis a could decide. Klingit reinach katleit klinach. Which has with the shine. Pennsylvania has with here. Tl'úk'x At.óow has to yes. Wegao. Tl'úk'x At.óow hajid qone aya wuduwati ya Tl'úk'x ayqatangi Ḥusteeyí Gáasʼ Ishan Ḥusteeyí qanashkideq Ḥusteeyí ya ha'anika At.óow hakakawahaya atlain at Yádi Ḥusteeyí Tl'úk'x Ḥusteeyí Eqa Tl'úk'x Yáay atlain At.óow Ḥusteeyí qa yidat Pennsylvania qeeti atlain ha'ai Ḥusteeyí sa'at qaqoneyan qo'a Tl'úk'x Yáda aya qeqa ataki takhwatan dasawe qadatin sawe Wuduwatáw dasawe qadatin sawe Wuduwatáw tsitsatin Wuduwatáw kodasi qayestin Wuduwatáw Ḳusteeyí guqay Ḥusteeyí Yáay Ḥusteeyí dasatse gunqa nuku
yeah, sheesh.
dasatse
Tłúk'x aqua Tłúk'x Tl'all Camlleseog but Tłúk'x
niguatl
Honeywood.
niguatl kaniguatl niguatl
Us Yisatinaga Tlákw.aan sa Tl'úk'x
Tl'allach Yáay
Tlákw sa
gunqa nuku At.óow asai qizati Ḥusteeyí Yádi
Dasawe kach
iwaqshige qasane Ḥusteeyí Ḥusteeyí Yádi atlain we tl'achkid kaya ajowe qatuwaw saguwen we Tlákw hastu daka nuku qahat qa yatatsu Tl'úk'x yatatsu qatuwaw sagu Tl'úk'x qa At.óow qa an Tl'úk'x at asai qizati Tl'úk'x adi Skaida
Adúch sa Ḥáw like Atgatu adi
ak wan qanins guch
Guch Hagalaw
Wuduwatáw qa hastu shaqawa kayebutian Tl'úk'x at saaq qizati Tl'úk'x Wuduwatáw at Yáay waldakun guch hasawajaq ch'utladak haswu ati yidat qo atlashatuwa ushko qeqa atlashatuwa ushko tlash guch qizati Ḥusteeyí tain tlash gahtujaq des qashaqawatin walkiwe we khasha dakahidi idach
Yáay anyálathas chaidach Tlákw.aan ach Shachau Yéil ha At.óow chalachach Chau Yéil.
Oh, okay. One canines gaudan lidi. Chawu. Yádi.
Yáay too.
Yáay we knocked at he. Was just Tl'úk'x is a chawu Wuduwatáw. Ik go higo. Yáay Lingi tundatani. Yet Tl'úk'x. That's a yagan at that you could. Kesh. Tl'úk'x with the Tl'úk'x. Yáda das away. Good das away Yáda is a cookie.
Tl'úk'x again.
A dugu away Yáda. Dak dugu sakoa. Kunachwe kasakak was Yáda yach. Ach dug. Like Yadug.
Tzá
A yanach lagi
Tom, are you cool?
a yanach lagi
Yáay.
a kin yek lagi. Teshinget anidach. Naki. Khadat ak anidach. Hintak ati. Atlen gat awacha takyaki. Khadat zai tach an awe gat kakushinush. Dech a kudzati yagi
Tl'úk'x
awe kushlecho you do a sago at Tl'úk'x inach dasawe ko ayuhan.
Íchx.
Walrus.
Oh.
Walrus do go teen ayaw didlayach. Shakutzi at ya atlin at the we hit tlainiyeti. Question kat a kudzati. Kachshe de hin shinget ai hasuchi. Penn Museum. American Museum of Natural History. Denver Art Museum. Seattle City Museum. Burke Museum. Portland. Princeton. Field. Their question kata kutzati. Kachshia dehin. Just click a shinget ani. Tlákw.aan. Angu. Kich. The katwe ku'u. Hastu yanach aya. Ha'ayi hastu chiwu. We Tlákw.aan Museum. Ajoyach tuasugu yatayachoe kakwati. Jitidana kagu atlain dana hajidi haskakwati. An aya we kadachak ka kadisne ka akawaka ate has jagachtu ke has jagachtu ke dana yejene aga away hastu gachtu tu ade dushye Gwashiata yach isitinge a Yáay Yís shada haskagachtu chak has agachni gwatl masadu saga a perkion ta
Oh. Like.
Tl'úk'x Taqoti akaye kwati. We museum at the Hasqakwati. Yis at museum yide. Chagodach ai ha'ani de. Akawe danatin. Llingit museum gachtulayech. Chat the cut with llingit dani ka. Shawak. Qir. Angun. Huna. Sheet aka. Santikihini. Tlákw.aan. Kwati just the kata ai. We íchx ai koa. Just hajiti haska kwati. Tesdana hasati ne hasuti. Yewe achtende tani yeyati. Hasu in kachwanektu. We hastu in ye jachwane. Yeke ka. Yeke shawat. Lucy. Yetitu. We Koowutlaax Princeton aye wuti. Kushiach wasa atbune. Llingit chasati. Yáay hayati itsu. Yewe hastu tunda tani yeyatitsu. Kach llingit ya nachoe ya kutsa gate at the cutway glade ka. Ajoe primitive hasakawashkiden. Kash has awsku. Ha Ḳusteeyí qatatyaqsa ha yuqatangi. Daqasa has awsaku ha yuqatangi. Qawanaqsawe ha datawe yuqewatan. Yátatsu Tl'úk'x at yuwaqshi qeqaqwasane. Yuguayaqwan. Wasatu asaku. Yádi. We Tl'úk'x shawat a kaw shahit yata New York Post a kukh. Kandu tu yeyati a joil the kata ai hatuwasaku. Gwashi tuwasaku just yigawutin yitu yata guk Tl'úk'x At.óow. A day yuqewatani ya. Gwash klekach elach we yuqatang qudzati. Superstitious yuduwasaku at. Tlach tuashku kwa achi kwa. Gwash yuqewatani. Yewe etundatani. Just khat aya qeqa atkhwasaku. Jagut at qeqa atkhwuste. Yewe wan qanins qatundatani wait ayach. Qa naqtin awe yuqachtatanen. Kesh asa qa yanach uke. Du kunachtu tu uke awa achi. Kesh asa qa yanach uke. Yewe Artlein jagut yede awe qaqudzati ayashinkat anaka. Wanachse jagut ayiqua itawu qaye yeji kesh I ayiqguxati. Ajowe khatsu kak gwashahit gwash New York Post team. Ka kakwa aq ke khat Tl'úk'x gwash Tl'úk'x. Ilchishach edisa achi. Yewe ya hastu datawe yuq tuchtatan. Yaqanach tedi. Chagodach kunachchu chagodach wuchin khasatiyen. Tl'úk'x ati qanach tedi. Qanach ati. Ya hastu íchx. Atlein aya llingit ai. Wan qanin sasakawa aq. At.óow. Sidzi ataya Johan. Ja'an koa. Hayuqatangi Ḳusteeyí Yáay the Tl'úk'x Yáay that Aqa'awichaltikatha At.óow íchx At.óow Yéil Tlákw.aan qaqasakhanti Tl'úk'x just Atatuwasaku Tl'úk'x Ha'anikaq'u Hasujiyis Hidziwan qanins Xusteeyí Yáay Yádi Linkitsai Qutzati Tlákw.aan Yiwaqshi Qasani Asai Tl'úk'x Yádu Tl'úk'x Tl'úk'x Lynn Canal Tl'úk'x Chilkat Valley Tl'úk'x Yádu Tl'úk'x Ani Wuduwatáw Yádu Tl'úk'x Quarreling Rocks Qeqa Tlingit Yachawit Tan'ani Wuduwatáw Yádu Deya Sanki Tl'úk'x Which way Yuqatangi Yáay that Dasak shaway that Tl'úk'x Oh, I've Qasatin dasa dat Wuduwatáw Skaidu
And she Dasa or Dasa Migwet Llich Gáasʼ Tl'úk'x Koowutlaax
Oh, gwell Yáay transition Xusteeyí Okay. Shukwa gwell Yáda Achtuwasagodat Yuqagachtilaati Kiwa gwell Yisaku Yak Kinde Akina Diki Kiwa Tach Kunnach Kinde Yádu Kiwa Zuna One qanins Wuduwatáw Yáda Kiwa Zuna Yitsu Tl'úk'x we Kiwa Zuna Tlingit Dakwutzakit One qanins Yewuti Keuchatuka Anika Heqwasaku wasa Atwune we Tlingit Hasik Wuduwatáw Kiwa Zuna Qayis Yachyati at Dag'un Gwalla Wuduwatáw Wegaw Tl'úk'x Adak'awi Yáay Tl'úk'x Yáay Naski Dag'un Tl'úk'x Ha'ayiko Gwallwe Denver Museum no Tl'úk'x Seattle Ye'awat Kiwa One qanins Yáay Wuduwatáw Gwell Qitz'úk'x One qanins Kiwa Wuduwatáw and adat Yuq'x Atkan Tl'úk'x يدات قاد قوش تلكدين وتسك Koowutlaax يا قوش هس ودو جق قوش هس شود جقتو يا أوخ وأخ أكا Koowutlaax هس كخستي Koowutlaax كجيخي وان قنينز يدو الساق وي إكليبس قيادتو predict the good قيادتو Koowutlaax Yáay يا أوج قوش يو هس ساقن وقا يا قوش وان قنين سلد زيوي أداتوي يو هس تلأتكن أختو يك أي أساي قدزتي هس كخ وان قنينز يتلت شوغو أو هس تندتاني هس تلقي جان كوا وتلقاني قا هس إخدشي Koowutlaax Yáay يا أوه خسكو أدات وش ياتتسو هز أوشيخ و Koowutlaax هخسكو ونخسوي وتنا دكاي وتين قوا هلا ساقنين يا أوه وتوسا pizza
We're sochten Tl'úk'x. Wankanins. On dat. Goed. Hawa akhewa us. Ach shawuyes du Tlákw. Dasayawe achun ishawachuch.
You did the arts question kian kostuyatki test with the jock. Okay. Ya hagawudat bush inu kagachtu saat kak adaya gachtus English genachha. You okay?
Okay.
Okay.
How's that?
I feel like I understood a lot more than I expected.
I guess the only way to do it.
I was super nervous because I've been sick for so long and have been in class for so long, but it was better than I thought.
Yeah. Questions, thoughts, suggestions?
Well, I did practice, and I still have big stumbling blocks. So maybe next time I'll practice better.
Well,
New York Post, Tl'úk'x Yakyati. Please do not get discouraged that newspaper is taking you on. They are very poor journalists.
They roll on toilet paper.
Yellow journalism.
Okay. Jeez. Skydo.
Yeah. So I was trying to say, and I literally was like, okay, I have no idea on how to say this, but I was trying to piece it together on more so, I think, earth pigments and how the red color was made, like what it was made from. But I wasn't able to articulate that.
Yeah,
I heard that. I heard you say
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
I understood what you were saying.
Tin Ḳusteeyí Kahak It was ochre. It's like a mineral, I think.
Okay, cool.
And they used to put it in there. Tl'úk'x Aqayisaku Heshwasa oti Tl'katat Yéil Qachuchayati Ḳusteeyí Shashakit. Oh, I had to look at how Herman said that. But they used to keep that red ochre in their hair all the time with eagle down feathers or downy feathers. And then everybody just knew everything's cool. Well, if they tie that hair up in a knot, someone came to fight, they wash their hair, tie in a knot. So they were very visual, so that you knew there was no sucker punching, I guess. You're just like, uh-oh, fighting time.
Okay, so that's it. Just the washed out ochre was just.
It was always in their hair.
Any other reason other than just color and sign?
I don't know, really. Maybe it was good for the sky.
Yeah.
They put a lot of Ṭúow. They used to make Yádi, like a sunblock out of tallow. That always have tallow on their skin and their faces, especially going out on the water.
Wuduwatáw tallow, right?
Yeah.
I use like a mineral thing to put in my hair when I'm out on the water or like out in the sun for a long time. Like the hair can get really, really damaged by like salt and sun.
So young.
Sorry, you said niguach is the word for paint?
Yeah. And
Okay, okay.
someone said kaniguat, and that's a pudding.
Okay.
It's made out of usually dog salmon eggs and high bush cranberries and magic. Something else is in there.
Awesome. So why for paint is called niguach, and then to ask the color of something is called masa kampleseo?
Right?
Yeah. You say Ḳusteeyí, or I've also heard it as Koowutlaax. It means it's been colored that way, which is interesting. And if you add it all up, I think a long time ago, Tlingit people of old didn't care about colors that much. They really, I don't think it was something on their mind a whole lot, because every color is a noun, so you have to like have, you say it's like a J, or it's like a stone, or it's like it's always like something. And then when you talk about niguat, is probably has to do with like a pudding-like substance. And so when they would make paint, it would be the texture of like kaniguat. And it's interesting because you don't have very many two-syllable verb roots, but that's one of them. So you could say naniguat would be the command form for painted. So it's a na conjugation verb. Niguat is the verb root. And so you could say Juaniguat, I painted it. But then you say, if you say a Ḳusteeyí, that means they dyed it a certain color, like soaking it in dye. And then when you say wasa Koowutlaax, you're literally saying, how was it dyed a different color? And that's how you ask what color something is, which again, it shows you have to force it into. I just don't think a long time ago they were like, what color is a ptarmigan? And I don't know. It just wasn't something. But colors are interesting. There's a language in Papua New Guinea that only has 2 words for color. And it was really wild.
Blue and green.
No, it's like there's 2 words for them, and all these colors go into those 2 words. And there's no conceivable pattern. Because if you just showed them something that was red, they'd say, it's that one. You show them something blue, and they're like, that's the other one.
Oh.
You couldn't get a pattern for it.
Huh.
And yeah, Tlākw.
Well, now I have 2 things to say. One of them is also about color. But yeah, that's like a thing also with like Russian. They like differentiate blues like a ton. and it's kind of just like language is like categorized things differently, and it's really cool. My question though was about maybe kind of about the nikwat kanikwat thing, but I feel like the ka at the beginning of words, sometimes I notice it like, and I can't really tell what it does, and it seems like sometimes it's making something into a noun maybe, or an adjective, maybe an adjective actually. I can't think of an example, so I don't really know, but yeah, I was wondering if you could say anything about that.
Well, I was in a meeting for like the SHI Artist Committee, and Dolores Churchill, the fabulous Dolores Churchill, started talking about this book about chilcat blankets. And I said, what is this book you keep talking about? And then I've heard about this Emmons book that exists that was, there was two of them, one about the chilcat blanket and how they used to make it, and then one about basketry and how they used to make that. And then that they had published them both as a set. And then at some point, Nora was commissioned to look at how he's writing Tlingit and try and figure out how he would write it today. And so there's an out of print edition that has the basketry and the chilcat blanket and Nora's retranscription, I guess, of Emmons's Tlingit, which Emmons was okay at writing Tlingit. There's a lot of things I think he couldn't differentiate. And it's a different way of writing it way back then. But I went and bought the book, and then we scanned the book. So I'll put the link to it on our class page because it's a super cool resource. But in there, he had talked to people about colors. And you could say something like, Khan Yachyati, it is red. But then you could say, Khan, red. That's the noun for a color. So that's the example of the ka thing. But in other instances, usually it just depends. Sometimes it's on there and it's really hard to analyze, like why there would be a ka on the verb. The most common one, there's 3 different ka that could pop up on a verb, but I think you can only have 2 of them. So there's ka, like a horizontal surface, by far the most common. If you look at the thematic prefixes, it's in spot number 4. And then I think on spot number 1, maybe 3, I can't remember, I think it's 1. You can have ka for comparison. I think it's on spot number 1, which is the one you get in Yéil. So if you ever get that ka, you usually get the aerialis as well, which is why you say íchx. That's why that little W pops up there. It's like it's this small or it's this big, so you're comparing it to something. Then there's a third ka, which is spherical, and that one I don't think you can get. Well, you can have ka, but I don't think you can have ka. But for some of them, like awaka would be they sewed it, like they sewed a moccasins or a vest or a shirt. A kawaka would be they beaded or embroidered on it, so they sewed it onto it. So some of them, they make sense like that in terms of how they stack up.
So in a kawaka, the ka, like the akka, would be the onto it because it's a surface. Yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah, the other ones weren't explained to me. I had always heard just the surface one, which made sense because if you're looking at the surface of a wall or something.
This surface.
Okay.
This one is ka, So that is something very consistent throughout Tlingit.
Yeah.
So then, like you say, ya, the face of the board, that's a wall. Ka, on the board, that's the floor.
I saw in the dictionary on the chest, wuka. It must be a person who's laying down.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too because like we're like, well, if it's on TV, we had a bunch of speakers in a room. We said, shouldn't it be TV yuck? And they're like, yeah, it should. And then say, how do you say I saw it on TV? And they say, TV Ḳusteeyí. They would always, so I don't know. You just have to, some of those, there's a logic there, but like languages just think differently, and it's so cool to like just keep discovering all those different things. Like I was telling, like inside of a house is Ḥityī, and I just force myself to remember that. Ḥityīdach, from out of the house. Ḥityīdē, into the house. Ḥityīwu, it's in the house. And then that yiwu or jiwu or awu, those are great, but if you want to put a verb in it, you got to switch it. If you want to do past tense or not, to say like it's not, you can say teshhaji, but I think if you're really emphasizing that it's not there, you'd say teshhaji ye'ote. Because jiwu and yawu and awu and kawu are not verbs. Ishkagu. Oh,
If Ḥityī is inside of a house, how is that different from Neish?
You neish when you are neish. So if you're in the house, you would say neish. So like if I'm in the house and someone wants to come in, I'd say neish gu. But if I'm outside of the house, I shouldn't say neish gu. I should say Ḥityī gu. So you neish when you neish and you niche when you niche. Those two have that same quality. I do.
So I've also heard people say nish uhu, so like they're at home, right? But do you have to be at home if they're saying they're at home, or is that one okay to do when you're not at home?
Yeah, that one works. Nish uhu. Because
Yeah, and you say that when you're not at home, right?
Okay, so for nish, there are two different words. One is a noun for home. Ach neitli, id neitli, ha neitli, neitli kwagut. So you can say neitli kwagut. That is a straight up noun. The other one is a directional term to come inside from the outside. And I remember one time I was talking to Kenny Grant and I wanted to say, they are going to dance in. And boy, I went cross-eyed trying to come up with that one. I got myself very confused. But it's, how would you say it? They're going to dance in. You are inside, and so you're already inside.
Neish.
Neish?
They're already in.
Yikde.
Nope. Neish. Just neish.
Neish.
They're going to dance in, not dance in the home. They're going to dance inside. That's what I was trying to tell them.
Neshia.
Neshia would be y'all come in, but I was telling a speaker, I was going to say, like if I was going to say it to you, they all are going to dance inside to where we are.
Hastu Tl'úk'x.
Not hastu, but has.
Has Tl'úk'x.
But we got to put it in the Tl'úk'x. Neish has Tl'úk'x.
Honda?
Well, Neish has Tl'úk'x. I was just communicating they're going to dance inside.
Okay, not dancing to us.
Because we were speaking Tlingit to each other and we were just going over we were coordinating, we were like culturally coordinating something together. And yeah, I was like, and I was like, he saw I was confused, but then he just said it. So
what was it?
Neish has Tl'úk'x.
So just neish with the verb following it.
Because if you're going to say they're going to come in, neish has Tl'úk'x.
It's the directional, not the noun.
Yes, so you don't need day on there though. That's where you get messed up.
Don't need day?
Because they're not going towards the home. They're
directional on its own. Just like hot. Hot and neish are in the same family. That's why you say hagu. That's why you say neishgu. And you'd say neish uwagut. Hot iyagut.
The T on hot doesn't act as, it's not a locative, like arriving at.
It is.
Okay. That's why I was like trying to put like a T or like day. Like, then how does,
It falls off when you say haku.
right?
The
Which
T
I
falls off of
understand.
both of them because it should be hatgut, but maybe they're like, that sounds funny to say haku. Like 10,000 years ago. Don't say hatgut.
Renee, if you're outside, how would you say they are going to dance inside?
Neshi hasakwatleich.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And we got like same thing, like would stand outside and make all the kids ask permission to go inside. And they were saying, "Neshke wasakwati, neshke kwakuti." I was like, but we're outside. So we had them switch to Heshke wasakwati, hiti kwakuti. And those poor kids. But they got it. Because they're standing outside in the cold until they got
Neil Ḥas
Neshi hasakwatleich. And you can also say, or you can say hiti, which should be hit, not nesh, unless it's your home. Hiti haskakwa'at, they're going to go inside. Neshi hasakwatleich, they're going to dance inside. Yanachtla.
Oh, what about yick
Yeah,
as far as all these like in things? Because
I used the wrong one.
I could, yeah.
everybody knew. But
We
yeah.
understood.
Well, now I got to show you guys the
That little-
napkin.
Then, which napkin?
The napkin. Well, I got to find it first.
napkin.
So yeah, because we were trying to. Is this the right thing? Oh yeah. Okay, so this is. We were trying to figure this stuff out, and it took me a long time to figure this stuff out. So you have ka, yik, tu, tak, and yi. And this is important because like Tk'úow Tim Hall was trying to get these straight. So he wrote them all down on a napkin. We were like doing like one of these like 3-week language intensives that we'd do in the interior, where we'd go to Whitehorse for a week and Carcross for a week and Tesson for a week. And we'd go 6 hours a day for 21 days in a row. We'd take weekends off. But it was very fun. So let's start with ka. So the things that would go ka would be on something, in a spillable or an open container. So if you're going to pour coffee in my cup, it's going to be gucha ka. Just accept it. And if you're going to pour coffee onto this cup with a closed lid, it would also be gucha ka. I don't know. You just have to deal with that. So yik is floating on the surface of the water in a body of water that's too shallow to submerge in a tree, in a forest, in a road, in a creature's body, and we also have to add one more. Anybody know what the last one is?
In water.
We've got the water already.
Oh.
But it could be in something that's in the water.
So like in a boat.
On top of?
In a boat or a car or a plane.
Or a floating house.
Or a foot. Ooh.
Ooh, right?
I would be, I think it'd be ye. I don't know, okay. So then it gets us to tu, which is, so generally a closed thing. So this would be a box with a lid. In people, but in their minds, if you ate it, it's yik. If it's in your brain, it's tu.
Mm-hmm.
Abstract concepts. I think also sometimes through the seasons. So they'll say Tlákw.aan for your winter clothing. And then you get to tak, which sometimes the K pops up there, sometimes it can disappear. Same with this K can also disappear. If you say repeatedly on the water, you say yich. So tak is in bodies of water deep enough to submerge, which also includes underwater. in holes and pits and cavities and in the fire and in your eyeballs. It's bonkers. And then Heen Tlákw.aan is on the surface of the bottom of the water, like down on the bottom of the Heen
The ocean
Tlákw.aan.
floor.
Heen Tlákw.aan Yanashkak way naq. The octopus is walking on the bottom of the ocean. Squat walking. And then you've got Yi, which is in a building or a home. That's kind of how all those things work. And you just got to differentiate them in your mind in the Shingitundatani.
It's Heen Tlákw.aan on the bottom of the water.
Heen Tlákw.aan.
Okay.
I was walking on the bottom of the ocean, like, in the stories that happen.
This might be a stretch, but can you give us, if there's too many, then don't worry about it. But can you give us like special exceptions for these? Because it feels like Clink, it's always like, oh, it's just this thing, except for this, right? So it's like, is there any of these that you wouldn't think of, like the floating house, that you're like, oh, I have to remember that one?
I don't know, but you say Gáasʼ. It would be, if I'd say Gáasʼ, Nashti, or whatever the handling verb's going to be. But Gáasʼ would be into the flames of the fire. And so you also say Waqshatak for your pupils, which means it has a cavity there. It has a cavern.
I remember you telling me, I remember you sharing with the class, you fell into my eyes. I'll never forget that your whole, like your eye is a hole that you fall into the inner being, I think. Yeah.
Well, I guess yik, day yik is one to remember. That's how it should be. But I'll also hear people say day kach, like off the road or something. But the other day I said day yik dachwujach, day yik dash, like day yik dachwujach it, way tourist bus. Or I think it was yesterday, Wednesday. The salmon bake bus went off the road, way off the road.
Day yik. Day yik dach.
But we also got to acknowledge that people have just gone off the road and somebody lost their life.
Yeah. But what would day yik mean on itself?
In the road.
Oh, in the road. Okay.
I was in the road.
Okay. Utian.
From the road.
Which is one, because you think day ka, which I think can work, but in Shingitundatani, a road and a path is a river. And a car is a boat.
For a fire, there's also dock and dock. What's the difference between dock and talk for a fire?
Well, if you say like ganda, that's around the fire. And you say gunchatak, that's into the flames of the fire. Because the fire itself is also it's a cavity. Tl'úk'x for, I was trying to think, I couldn't think of, well, I don't know. How's that? For 7, you do think it enough and then your English doesn't work after a while. For Monday. Tuesday. Find out as much as you can about the community of Cake, Alaska.
Okay.
That's what we'll talk about on Tuesday. Would anybody be interested in starting our conversation on Tuesday? That doesn't mean you have to run the whole conversation, talk the whole 90 minutes. That just means you, before we hit record, You'll show us some pictures, some other things that you're just going to demonstrate to us how you would prepare for having a conversation about íchx. And then you would give us some ideas on how we can, because also this is very free form. We could try some things where we have a virtual table, where we do turn taking. We could try a whole bunch of different ideas. But I want each of you to take the lead, and that doesn't mean, again, all the responsibility is on you. It just means you're getting us started. Shoot, ak, kita, ak. Skaidu.
I can do that. But also, when we, for the last class of the week, can we find out the things to do for both Tuesday and Thursday? Because I felt like with all my other classes, I felt really scrambled today with just not having enough time. I'm able to put so much more time in on the weekends. So
how about Tuesday we do historical things about the community of cake. Older things, histories, all the clan stuff. And then Thursday, let's talk about the apology from the United States Navy. These are heavy topics, so maybe I know we just did stolen At.óow, and now we're doing bombing villages.
Okay.
I guess maybe the week after we'll do jokes or something. I don't know.
Before we off, I'll share the link. The apology was video recorded.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'll share the link in the chat real quick if folks can hold on.
Okay. And if you folks have stuff, and we could do this too. If you're finding things that you think are interesting and you want other folks to read, you could send them to me and I'll put them on our class website. So Tlingitlanguage.com, learning Tlingit, Tlingit culture and worldview.
Okay. I just put in the chat warning to everyone. It is 2 hours and 47 minutes long.
I watched it.
Okay. So you got 7 days.
We were supposed to be there, but I was sick.
And so historical stuff on Tuesday, the Navy's apology on Thursday.
Okay.
Good cheese. And I'll post some things that I find too. I got some cool cake history things from when I was visiting there. When Wu and I went to visit Gáasʼ. Good cheese, Shuhan. Kachonach Łukayi Yéil Kayil Katangi Good cheese.
Cheers.
Cheese. Tiagan.
So George stayed in a house